Hi everyone, I hope you are all doing well. We are on our 6th video, which is actually our last lesson, and we are going to wrap up everything that we've been talking about, and we are going to talk about how to quit. According to the CDC, tobacco use remains the leading preventable cause of death and disease in the United States. Cigarette smoking alone kills more than 480,000 Americans each and every year. The best way to protect yourself from the harmful effects of smoking is to never smoke. And if you do smoke tobacco products, to quit. It's important to remember that you can get help and you can quit. We're going to talk today about Amanda's story, and Amanda is a woman who started smoking at a very young age, smoked throughout her teenage years, actually smoked during her pregnancy, but she was able to get help and she was able to quit. We're going to talk about women and smoking and health effects associated specifically to women that smoke, and health benefits of women or for women that smoke. We're going to be talking about breaking nicotine addiction. We're also going to talk about electronic cigarettes and how they are not effective quit smoking aids. We're going to talk about that again. And we're also going to talk about how to take steps to quit. So to get started with Amanda's story, I'm going to show you this picture. I feel like it's really powerful. This is from the CDC's website, and it says some of the reasons to quit smoking are very small. And this is a picture of Amanda, who we're going to talk about, holding a picture of her daughter. So Amanda picked up her first cigarette when she was in the 5th grade. And by the time she was 13, she was smoking every single day. She would actually sneak cigarettes from her parents or buy a pack on her way home from school. She lived in a small town in Wisconsin. So many of her friends and many older kids that she knew were smoking, and that made her think, I want to smoke too, or I can smoke too. And so this is a situation, I don't necessarily always use the term peer pressure, because I feel like a lot of times people are not actually getting pressured. It's more of a peer influence. People around you are influencing your decisions, and they're doing a certain activity, which in turn can get you to start doing that certain activity as well. And this is a perfect example of that. So Amanda was surrounded by people that smoked cigarettes, so she just started smoking cigarettes too. She thought it was okay because all of these other people around her did that. So by the time she was in high school, she actually stopped going to classes or skipped some classes so that she could smoke cigarettes. She ended up working her way through college. She was newly engaged and still smoking a pack of cigarettes a day whenever she learned that she was pregnant. And she said that she had always planned on having children, always wanted children, but she wanted to be married, finished with college, and she absolutely did not want to be smoking while she was pregnant. So, her daughter she ended up having a little girl, and the little girl was born too early, which is a danger for all pregnant women. We've talked about that a little bit, those dangers associated with being born too early. And her daughter actually had a low birth weight. She was very tiny, premature, with a weak, soft cry, and she was put in an incubator for babies who are born too early and too small. And, again, she was born 2 months before she was actually due. Amanda said that she had tried to quit. She would throw a $7 pack of cigarettes in the trash and say, I'm done. I can move forward. I can get through this. And she would think that she was done. And by the end of the day, she would go out and buy another pack of cigarettes. And really, the addiction moved into every aspect of her life. She would smoke whenever she was under stress, and she would go outside and smoke cigarettes for the day. Even in that cold Wisconsin winter, in those cold days. So she knew that it was a problem. And she was about 7 months into her pregnancy when things really went wrong. She was rushed to the hospital via ambulance, and doctors delivered her baby via an emergency C-section. So she had the little girl, and the little girl only weighed 3 pounds when she was born. So the baby ended up spending the first few weeks of her life in the NICU, which is the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. She was fed through a tube and received special care that premature babies receive. Once the baby was able to go home, she struggled to gain weight and got sick really easily. Before her first birthday, she developed allergies and asthma, and actually a serious lung problem that made it hard for her to breathe. So again, breathing problems are more common in premature babies that are born too early. So now her daughter is 7 and takes 4 types of medications on a regular basis for these health issues. Amanda feels a tremendous amount of guilt for her daughter being born too early. She said she knew smoking was bad and that she did not think it would happen to her. She didn't think that she would have a premature baby, and she didn't think that her child would have asthma. So to quit smoking, Amanda focused on ways to relieve stress. So she even says the stress does not go away after she had her cigarettes. Whatever the reality is, she said, whatever it is, that's making her smoke or that's making you smoke, that's still there after you have your cigarette. Nothing about the cigarette actually changes what's causing that stress. So she ended up using prayer, exercise, and distraction to handle her stress without a cigarette. And Amanda hopes that sharing her story will help other people to quit smoking, and the sooner the better. Now is the best time to quit smoking. Her father was a smoker, and he recently learned that he had advanced lung cancer. So he quit smoking, and he's one of Amanda's biggest supporters in sharing her own story with the world. And she hopes her children will have the chance to know her grandfather. So there are several different things that are important to remember when thinking of Amanda's story. So again, her story was out there, and she says that in her bio that it's out there to help people. She wants people to know her story, what happened to her, what happened to her daughter, so that hopefully other people can learn from that and make good decisions for themselves and their families based off of that. That also, again, goes to reinforce that there are serious health concerns for women that smoke and consequences for the baby. Again, smoking during pregnancy tends to lead to premature birth, early births, and that can also lead to a low birth weight, which can cause some of those health concerns that Amanda's daughter, specifically the asthma, the allergies, and then the breathing difficulties, can all be linked to that. So we are going to go ahead and move on to women and smoking. Smoking is harmful to everyone, but for women, smoking carries additional risks. Smoking hurts your lungs. So smoking causes chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which is commonly known as COPD, asthma, chronic coughs, and within 2 weeks of quitting, just 2 weeks, your lungs will start to work better. In 9 months, you will begin to breathe easier and cough less. So 2 weeks, that's so soon to start, feeling those results. Smoking is a major cause of heart disease in women. So within 2 weeks of quitting, the risk of heart disease begins to drop. Quitting can also help lower the risk of cancer and type 2 diabetes. Lung cancer is the leading cause of cancer deaths among women. And smoking also causes many different cancers, including acute myeloid leukemia, cancers of the cervix, bladder, kidneys, esophagus, stomach, liver, colon, rectum, pancreas, mouth, and throat. And quitting lowers your risk of all of those cancers and lung cancer too. And smokers are more likely to get type 2 diabetes than non-smokers. So your menstrual cycle could actually improve with quitting smoking. So if you suffer from irregular menstrual cycle or menstrual cycles, mood swings, or even cramps around the time of your period, quitting can help with that. And if you take birth control, quitting will lower your risk of stroke, heart attack, and blood clots. Your bones will actually be stronger too. So women who smoke have an increased risk of weak bones and hip fractures as they get older. Of course, healthier pregnancy and baby. We have talked about this today, and we've talked about this in many of our other lessons. Quitting before or during pregnancy decreases the risk of a stillbirth, premature birth, and low birth weight, which can have effects on the baby. You will protect your family from second and third hand smoke if you quit. So children might have a lower risk of colds, the flu, ear infections, and asthma. Babies will have a lower risk of SIDS. And then also quitting, your skin, teeth, and hair will be healthier. So we talked about how using tobacco products can affect your skin, can cause wrinkles, can affect your teeth, cause yellowness, staining, can cause oral cancers and oral sores, and have many negative health consequences there. And also your hair will be healthier. Your hair won't smell like smoke too. So those are some things specifically for women to keep in mind. We're going to go ahead and move on to breaking nicotine addiction. I have a brochure here, and it's called Breaking Nicotine Addiction. And it talks about 9 things that you should know about nicotine and how to break the addiction. So, and it's kind of step-by-step here as well. So, most people who smoke wish they could quit. It's not a lack of willpower that keeps them from smoking. They're fighting that nicotine addiction. So, 9 things to consider. Nicotine is a drug. Number 1, we have talked about that. Number 2, nicotine is very addictive. We've also talked about that. Nicotine is incredibly addictive and affects your brain and makes you crave more. And when you become addictive, or when you become addicted, your body needs more nicotine to feel normal. The secret to quitting is dealing with the addiction. So when you stop smoking, your body goes into withdrawal. Withdrawal symptoms can start in hours, and intense cravings are really common with that. Coping with cravings is the key to staying smoke-free. It's important to remember number 4, you can quit. For many people, quitting cold turkey works perfectly for them. For other people, they kind of need to do more of a stair step. So start taking slow steps and really progress towards quitting. So reducing the number of cigarettes works well for them. For other people, nicotine replacement therapy is a good choice. So also others find support groups or classes to benefit them. And nicotine replacement can help. So nicotine replacement therapy, or NRT, works to help people stop smoking. According to the CDC, NRT reduces withdrawal feelings by giving you a small controlled amount of nicotine, but none of the other dangerous chemicals that are found in cigarettes. This small amount of nicotine helps satisfy your cravings for nicotine and reduces the urge to smoke. So this includes nicotine patches, inhalers, lozenges, and also gum. So with that, some NRT products, since they come in a variety, NRT products work better for others than they do for some people. So you're really just going to have to find which product works best for you as an individual. Something else to consider, e-cigarettes are not quit smoking aids. We have said this. A lot of adults begin to use e-cigarettes as quit smoking aids or in an effort to quit smoking regular cigarettes, and then they end up with that doing the dual use, which we've talked about in our e-cigarette lessons. So meaning they end up using the e-cigarettes in addition to regular cigarettes. And again, we've said no amount of nicotine is safe. Nicotine, any amount, even a small amount, is really dangerous, especially if you are pregnant. It's dangerous for you and the health of your baby. It's also important to remember that a lot of those e-cigarettes, the ones that are marketed or labeled that they do not contain nicotine, have been found to contain nicotine. So they are not considered effective quit smoking aids. That's something to keep in mind. So moving on with this, number 6, other medications can help. Prescription medications are another option, and they work to reduce cravings, and they can also help with other withdrawal symptoms. And it's just important to talk to your primary care physician, your doctor, your medical professional that you see about using those products, and really anything that is good for you as an individual. And number 7, remember to hang in there. The first few weeks are really tough, especially when those withdrawal symptoms and you're experiencing the withdrawal and it's super intense. So you may crave sweets, you may dream about smoking, and those feelings can be really hard, but it's really important to hang in there and remember why, keep thinking why you want to quit and why you need to quit. So when cravings hit, take action. That's number 8 here. Drink lots of water, exercise, go for a walk, go for a hike, get out and about, go for a jog, go for a swim. And you can even join a support group. You can talk to someone locally, and then at the end of this lesson, I will give you the contact information for who you can reach out to at our local health department. And it's important to avoid coffee, tea, soda, so anything with caffeine in it, because it can make you feel a little edgy, which is tough whenever you are trying to quit too. And remember, it's important, do not give up. Our last tip here, number 9, do not give up. Reach out to friends, reach out to a support system, and have them there to have your back, to help you with this process. And remember to always think of what the end of this journey will look like. All of, the health benefits for you and your family if you quit. So to continue steps here with quitting smoking will be one of the best decisions you can make to better your health and your family's health. There might be many physical and mental challenges to overcome, including withdrawal. Symptoms with the withdrawal can start within 2 to 3 hours, so that's pretty soon, and they can peak 2 to 3 days later, but they will go away. And this is a great time to start something new, like a healthy habit or a new hobby. Adding a new routine can help you get used to a new non-smoking routine. And new healthy activities can help keep your mind off of smoking. So kind of a distraction there, but also introducing something good and healthy in your life for you and your family. And it's important to take time to focus on what is important for you and your health. So whenever you start new hobbies or new healthy habits, you start to learn a little bit more about yourself, and that's so important. It's really important for growth. So a quit plan, according to the CDC, a few steps to help you with your plan. Pick a date, circle it on your calendar. Look at that and know when your start date should be and stick with it. A lot of people will just put it off and say, I'll start tomorrow, and then they just keep pushing that off and they never actually start. So it's important to really circle that date on your calendar and know when you are going to start. And you can let loved ones and family know that you are going to quit. You want to quit and you're going to quit. It's important to have support, but it's also important to have the right type of support. The CDC has guidance and tips on their website to help you make sure that you are receiving the right support from those that you choose to include in your plan. You want to remove your reminders of smoking, so that includes getting rid of your cigarettes, your lighters, your ashtrays, anything that you would look at and think about cigarettes or that could potentially trigger you to make you want to have a cigarette. You're going to want to get rid of those so that you do not get tempted. And you want to identify your reasons to quit smoking. It's great to just write all of these out. So the things that we've talked about in our lessons, and then your own personal reasons, you can jot those down in a journal or just a sheet of paper. And just when things get tough, when it gets hard, you can look back at that and look at, the reasons that you need to do this. You can develop coping strategies. So, for example, meditation, things to help you cope with this, and have places that you can turn for immediate help. It's important also to set up rewards for every milestone because you should be proud of yourself every step of the way. This is a huge thing for your health and your family's health. Locally, you can contact the Allegheny County Department of Health Tobacco Cessation Program. You will be contacting Kathy Dudley, and her number is 301-759-5050. And this program offers individual and upon request group cessation services from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and that's Monday through Friday. They offer free NRT lozenges and patches for Allegheny County adults at no cost, but to receive those products, you just need to have a note from your healthcare professional stating that it's okay. So as a quick wrap up for what we've talked about today, to kind of end everything, I have this backdrop behind me that we're just gonna pick a few things from. So why should you quit smoking? Quitting smoking is one of the best things that you can do for your health and can help you make good decisions for you and your family. Tobacco use kills as many as half of its users, and they die on average 15 years prematurely. There's no better time to quit smoking than now. No matter what age or how long you've smoked, quitting smoking can enhance your health and reduce your risk of dying at a younger age. Reasons to quit: reduce your risk for lung cancer, as well as many other types of cancer, reduce your risk of heart disease and stroke, reduce your risk for chronic lung disease, improve your appearance by helping reduce and prevent premature wrinkling of the skin, stained teeth, bad breath, and yellow fingernails, and protect loved ones from the dangers of secondhand smoke. So your children, your babies, and your family, second and third-hand smoke. Be a good role model for your children, save money, and have a longer, healthier life. So thanks everyone so much. And again, the Allegheny County Department of Health Tobacco Cessation Program, you can contact Kathy Dudley. And one more time, her number is 301-759-5050. And this video was presented by the Cumberland YMCA through a grant from the Allegheny County Department of Health and Maryland Department of Health patch. All right, thanks so much, everyone.